Ain't this a... Okay, y'all, I have no idea what happened, but I am back on the air. So if y'all are there, just jump on back in the chat room. It gave me a 2-second notice that it shut down, and the third second it was back up and running. You're on the internet, right? Oh, baby. Yes, sir. Okay, so hey, Jackie.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay, so are you ready to talk with me about the Texas new laws?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I know you are. I'm ready to talk about that, Jackie. That just really bugs me. I cannot believe what they did.
Oh, Brenda, you cannot be surprised, though, surely.
No, I'm never surprised, Jackie. Never surprised. Okay, so go ahead, Jackie, and tell. Or would you like me to give you a little lead in, or are you?
Well, go right ahead because I'm just getting here.
Okay. Okay. So I was just about to tell y'all a controversial law requiring Texas voters to present photo identification in order to cast a ballot officially went into effect Monday. As early voting began in the state for the November 5 elections. In order to cast a ballot, voters will have to present one of the following photo IDs: a Texas driver's license, a Texas personal ID card, a Texas concealed handgun license, a U.S. military ID card, a U.S. citizen's certificate, or a U.S. passport. Was that 4? Sound like 5 to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those who don't have one of the documents but can prove their citizenship must request one of the new Texas election identification certificates created to facilitate the voter ID law. Let me say that again. Those who don't have one of the documents but can prove their citizenship must request one of the new Texas election identification certificates created to facilitate the voter ID law. Not many people have done so. As of last week, the state had only issued 41 of the new certificates, according to the Dallas Morning News.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tiny fraction of the estimated 1.4 million eligible voters without a photo ID across the state. Critics of laws like that one that went into effect in Texas on Monday say new voter ID measures amount to conservative tactics to suppress votes from minorities, poor people, and youth, all of whom tend to vote Democratic. So here we go again, Jackie.
Well, and not only that, the thing that really gets me about that is that there was a court ruling last year that said that these laws were unconstitutional. So I don't understand how they are able to put these laws into effect.
I don't either, Jackie.
I mean, I understand about Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act and all that other stuff, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Justice Department had also put the kibosh on that, on this. But now, all of a sudden, here it is, and they're putting it into effect. And they're being sued all over the place. And they have started something else to try and keep women from voting.
Yes.
Typically.
And, Jackie, that's what I want us to talk about. This thing that, because, you know, it came out like this, but it's against anybody that's voting democratically, but it's really against women. Because women are standing up fighting like crazy because of the mess that they're trying to put on us.
Oh, yeah.
They are really trying to take us back to the 1800s.
Oh, yeah.
So go ahead, Jack, and tell us exactly what it was that they did to women.
Okay. Well, in addition to all this marvelous voter ID, their marvelous voter ID laws, voters must show original documents now, okay? So not a copy of your birth certificate or anything like that. Not a copy of your marriage license or divorce decree. Okay, but voters must show original documents verifying legal proof of name changes.
Yeah, and you can't have a copy. So if you've got a copy,
Right.
like Jackie, when I went away from home, my mother gave me a copy of my birth certificate, but she kept the original
Yes.
locked in a safe deposit box in a bank.
Yes.
Because young kids don't keep up with stuff. You could have a fire, you could get anything could happen. And so she gave me a copy. And then later on, Arkansas came out with a birth certificate card, a plastic card, like a credit card. But it had all the pertinent information you needed to prove, and it had the Arkansas Steel stamped on it, which I still carry. And it's like one of Lawrence O'Donnell's guest said last night. If you ask me for my original marriage certificate, I can't tell you where it is.
Yes.
It was married so long ago.
Yeah, and then not only that, the other thing about this law is that in the absence of original documents, you must pay a minimum of $20 to receive new copies.
Yeah.
So, according to the Brennan Center for Justice, only 66% of women of legal voting age with access to any proof of citizenship have a document with their current legal name. So, like if you got married or divorced, or something like that.
Yeah, it's again, it's just hardship.
Well, no, and I think about, I got married in March, okay? And my driver's license had my maiden name on it. And I didn't change that until I had to renew my license. Okay? It was still me. I was just married now.
Look, Jackie, they're talking about Barack Obama and the glitch and why didn't he do this? Because you keep him wrapped up in bullshit. And this is what they're doing to the voters. They're keeping them wrapped up in bullshit. And
I have also some more news about that whole computer glitch thing.
Yeah, okay, great.
But I want to wrap this up first.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I mean, they keep this is just another tactic, and I don't know why they don't understand that we know better. We see this tactic. Now, this law was just rolled out, Jackie, when the November 5 elections are coming up in, 10 days?
Yeah.
15 days?
Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah. Maybe a couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah, just keeping you enthralled and shit. Now, they got 1.4 million people that they are expecting to vote. And they expect...
Wait a minute. Wait. They are expecting 1.4 million to vote, or they're disenfranchising 1.4?
They're disenfranchising, thank you. Sorry, they're not. But okay, let me just read this. Critics of laws like the one that went into effect in Texas Monday. Okay, no, I already read that to y'all. Okay, so here's the next one. I am compelled to point out that voter fraud is a solution in search of a problem. Absolutely, because we all know that George Bush and the Republicans investigated voter fraud for some time, Jackie. For a couple, 2-3 years there.
Well, and the thing about it, all they're talking about is voter fraud through impersonation.
Yeah,
they're not talking about that other voter fraud that they've been going to jail for.
Right, not the one that they always going to jail for. President Bush's cabinet and people or whatever, his people, they found 86 cases.
Nationwide.
Not in Washington, not just in the state of Florida. 86 cases nationwide.
Yeah, and most of those were errors of some sort, where like somebody sent in their absentee ballot but died before Election Day.
Right, okay.
Oh, yeah.
86. So again, there is no voter fraud problem except the one that the Republicans are creating. And they're creating the problem for us. And so this is so messed up. Okay, so he says, I am compelled to point out that voter fraud is a solution in search of a problem. Texas Monthly senior editor Paul Burka wrote in a blog post last week. Except for rare incidents, such as those involving Acorn a few years back, voter fraud is next to non-existent. Nevertheless, Republican Attorney General candidate Dan Branch vowed last week to create a voter fraud task force if elected. Now,
the more of the citizens' money down the drain.
More of the citizens' money down the drain. Here we go with our fiscal hawks creating a task force where they have no task to do.
Have no task to force, yeah.
Okay, have no task to force, Jack. It's just making me sick. And again, as Ron Reagan said today, the Republicans and the Tea Parties are even less popular than hepatitis B. Syphilis is more popular than them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just won't stop, Jackie. So now they're playing this thing, and okay, and then you think about the older people who are never going to put their hands on an original document.
Yeah.
Because some of them never got them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're 80 or 90 years old, you may have never even had one.
Mm-hmm.
A birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
This is just, I'm so outdone by this, Jackie, that I can't hardly stand it. And that's why I have got to try to open one more time. I hope we don't get kicked off the air. We got kicked off for all of 3 seconds and it opened right back up to the studio. But I downloaded the Judge Key. And it was only 2 minutes long, but I just wanted the audience to hear his words. But it was an absolute wonderful story, Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Carlo Key in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He made a 2 minute and few seconds video and released it to the internet today, saying that he had it with being a Republican.
Oh yeah, I read that story.
Yes, and I downloaded his video to play for the audience because he said it so eloquently, and he said it as though it really broke his heart to leave the Republican Party. But he said he had had enough, Jackie.
Yeah.
He said that he can no longer sit by and see. This has been my question. You know, I'm selling my home, and my realtor was here on Monday, and my realtor and I immediately got to talking about all this craziness. And I said, how can anybody be a part of the Republican Party and, you know, and hear them say the things that they say?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ted Cruz said yesterday or today at some luncheon or big shindig they were holding for him that remember the Nigerian scammers? Were they the reason that Barack Obama and the Affordable Care Act is having a problem rolling out is because all of them are working. That's who he hired, you know,
mm-hmm.
to do the website.
Yeah.
All the Nigerian scammers.
Mm-hmm.
What? How can you sit by, Jackie, as a black person and listen to all of this absolute, you know, racial stuff thrown at you, and you just say, "Oh, that wasn't racial. He wasn't talking to us." They continue to call our president a shucker and a jiver, and blah blah blah. But this you know how the internet is getting crazy, and we just got kicked off for a second, so I'm probably not going to try to play this again, but I would like to read it.
Well, please do.
Well, I can't read it because I can't get to it without trying to open the link, and then it might kick us off the air again. Okay, I tell you what, I'm gonna close the Texas voter ID fraud and see if I can see if we can slowly but surely get to that. But Texas judge slams Republicans in video announcing he's now Democrat.
Oh, he went the whole.
Yeah, baby. He not only did he defect, Jackie. He defected and then he flipped. Yes, ma'am.
You know, a lot of them, like in California, I was telling you, a lot of them changed their designation from Republican to Independent.
Yeah. Well, this judge flipped to Democrat. And so he says that he will from now on be running on the Democratic ticket. Okay. And so his page is opening now. And I'm going to give it a full minute on its own to open up so that we don't get kicked off the air again. And, you know, because Internet Explorer can't handle it. Now, you see, these are glitches, y'all. These are glitches, too. If I have too much going on, you know, then sometimes I get kicked off or the Internet Explorer is not responding. We have that daily here at Facebook, YouTube, anywhere else, and I understand, Jackie and I understand that $57 million is a lot of money to give a company, and they have not made this thing turn out. But it's not the president's fault. He didn't build the site, and I assume that these people came highly recommended, right, Jackie? They had built all these sites for Canada and such, but I don't know how they missed the fact that Canada was suing them. The Canadian government was suing this firm because things had not worked out right for them.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know how they missed that either. But,
Yeah.
you know, Brenda, the other thing, too, is, you know, like federal contracting, there are rules and regs and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, somebody asked Robert Gibbs, who was the communications director for President Obama. He was the press secretary for President Obama, was his communications director when he was running, right? They asked him, you know, how can President Obama have this happen when he and his campaign are known for being the most tech-savvy political organization in history?
Yeah.
And Robert Gibbs said, because we don't have to give contracts to the lowest bidder.
Yeah.
We give contracts to the best people. And I said, well, yeah, I guess that does matter, doesn't it? Okay, y'all. So Barry and Tony is back in the chat room. Somebody tell Jean out on Facebook Boulevard that she can come on back in. we were off the air all of 3 seconds. Okay, Jackie. So it opened, and I'm going to play Judge Carlo Key if everybody's listening. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's hear it. Hold on, we're not listening to a commercial. If I can get past it, y'all. I don't see a place. Oh, okay, no commercial.
I have tried to live a life of principles. These principles have been shaped by my familia, my community, and my country. In fact, it is my dedication to these principles which has led me to the law in the first place and has guided me to becoming a judge. These values are simple. I believe that justice demands fairness. It requires careful and intelligent probing of evidence. And above all else, justice can only be served without prejudice toward race, color, creed, or whom you choose to love. These principles have served as the bedrock upon which my rulings have been made. They are also my driving force. That is why I can no longer be a member of the Republican Party. For too long, the Republican Party has been at war with itself. Rational Republican beliefs have given way to ideological character assassination. Pragmatism and principle have been overtaken by pettiness and bigotry. Make no mistake, I have not left the Republican Party. It left me. I cannot tolerate a political party that demeans Texans based on their sexual orientation, the color of their skin, or their economic status. I will not be a member of a party in which hate speech elevates candidates for higher office rather than disqualifying them. I cannot place my name on the ballot for a political party that is proud to destroy the lives of hundreds of thousands of federal workers over the vain attempt to repeal a law that will provide health care to millions of people throughout our country. That is why I am announcing that I am now running for re-election as a Democratic candidate for County Court of Law 11 in the 2014 elections. My principles have led me to the Democratic Party. I can only hope that more people of principle will follow me. If you believe these values are your values, then I respectfully ask you to join me and let's work together to keep dignity, fairness, and respect for rule of law in our Bexar County courts. Follow me on Twitter at Judge Key and join my team at JudgeCarloKey.com.
So there you have it, Jackie. He said, I didn't leave the Republican Party. The Republican Party left me.
And well, that's true. If you're brown, it sure has.
Yeah, what a handsome little brown man he is, and very well spoken. And this is why I don't understand why more people are. I mean, I've been seeing videos of Republican people who were saying, listen, I voted Republican all my life, but I will never do it again. I am leaving this party. They are crazy, especially after that government shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
And so Judge Key, and I will be following you on Facebook, Judge Key, and I just thought that was the coolest thing ever, that he's no nutcase. He came out here and expressed himself in a very, very caring way. And so I always have to ask the question, how in the world can you be a sane person and say you're in the Republican Party and follow them? They're crazy.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
I have asked myself that question too, because there's all these reports about the quote moderate unquote Republicans who are just appalled. They're appalled. I say, in Casablanca, I'm shocked. I say,
Okay, that there's gambling going on in this casino.
Yes.
Tony said, could this be a ploy?
That they're saying in private. But saying in private doesn't help a thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to have it both ways. Well, no, I'm not really like them. But then when they're out in public and when they're voting with these fools. So as far as I'm concerned,
Tony said
that makes them part of the problem.
Tony said he flipped. Could it be a ploy? No, I don't see a ploy in this, Tony. Because, see, you can't say anything sane like that and be a part of them. They are getting rid of you.
No, absolutely.
Even if he wasn't going to go, he could not come out and say something sane.
No.
You got to always talk crazy. You got to always tell lies, which brings us to our big story tonight, which we've been waiting for Jackie on. And Jack is going to tell about the big Fox lie and their guest that they told about Obamacare. Go, Jackie, go.
I'm sorry. I can't laugh in advance, but this is so funny.
Yes, it is.
So stupid. Okay. Now, calling out Fox News for lying is, like saying the sun is going to come up in the east. They always tell gargantuan lies on Fox News.
Mm-hmm.
However, last week, Sean Hannity had 3 couples on to tell the audience about how Obamacare was destroying their lives. It was killing them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he had these people on last Friday evening.
Mm-hmm.
And Hannity comes on, and he says the average Americans are feeling the pain of Obamacare and the health care overhaul train wreck, And,
yes.
Yeah, that's what it is on Fox. It's the health care train wreck, yeah.
Yeah.
And he says that he had 6 people there to tell their stories. There were 3 married couples that he had in his studio. Okay. Hannity says that these are the stories that the media refuses to cover. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what his guest talked about was that their policies had been canceled. They said they had premium hikes. There were restrictions on their freedom to see the doctor of their choice. And that it was placing financial burdens on the small business owner. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And so the reporter who wrote the story, it's on salon.com, and his name is Eric Stern.
Right.
Okay? He said that none of that smelled right to him. He said nothing that these folks had said jibed with the basic facts of the Affordable Care Act as he understood them.
Right.
And he says that he understands them really well because he's worked as a senior advisor to a governor and helped him deal with these new federal rules.
That's right. He was senior counsel in Montana.
That's right. So he decided that he was going to track these guests down and do his own interviews with them. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first he spoke with Paul Cox of, this looks like Leicester, North Carolina.
Yeah, that's what I said it was, too, a Leicester.
Mm-hmm. He and his wife, Michelle, had lamented to Hannity that because of Obamacare, they can't grow their construction business, and they have to keep their employees below a certain number of hours so that they are part-time.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Obamacare has no effect on businesses that have 49 employees or less. But in his brief conversation with Mr. Cox on the phone, Mr. Cox told him that he had only 4 employees.
Right.
Right. Okay, so the law does not affect him at all, right?
Not at all.
And so then he asked him why was he cutting back his workforce? And he goes, well, I haven't been forced to do so. It's just that I've chosen to do so, Mr. Cox says.
Uh-huh.
He says, I have to deal with increased costs. And then the reporter asked him, well, what costs? And how is any of it due to Obamacare? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then he said there was a long pause, after which Mr. Cox said that he'd call him back, but he never did.
Yeah, let me call you back with you, dog. I'll get back with you.
Right.
I
So
never
that
called
was the
back.
first one, okay?
Okay.
And the only requirement that applies to a company of his size is that workers have to be notified of the existence of the healthcare exchanges. That's it. But they don't have to provide anything to their employees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, next he called Allison Dinage.
Uh-huh.
She told Hannity that she pays over $13,000 a year in premium.
Uh-huh.
And she said she had recently gotten a letter from Blue Cross saying that her policy was being terminated and a new ACA compliant policy would take its place.
Mm-hmm.
She says that this shows that Obama lied when he promised Americans that they could keep their existing.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Her husband left his job a few years ago, one with benefits at a big company, and he started his own business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so when he did that, they had to buy their own insurance on the open market, and they were paying $1,100 a month for a policy with a $2,500 deductible per family member.
Ooh.
Okay, and hefty annual premium hike.
Mm-hmm.
One of their 2 children is not covered under this policy because she has a pre-existing condition that would require purchasing additional coverage for an additional $600 a month, which would bring the family's grand total to around $20,000 a year.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So then the reporter asked Allison if she had shopped on the exchange to see what a plan might cost under the new law.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she hadn't done so because she'd heard the website wasn't working. And he said, he asked her if she would try it out when it was up and running. And she said maybe she would. She had long opposed Obamacare and that the president should have focused on tort reform as a solution to bringing down the price of health care.
Wait a minute, Jackie. She went on Hannity to tell how bad Obamacare was destroying their lives.
Yes.
But she ain't got Obamacare.
Right.
You see.
Wait, it gets better.
Okay.
Okay. So, so the reporter tried an experiment, and he shopped on the exchange for Allison. And let me see, and he assumed that they didn't smoke and that they had a household income that was too high to be eligible for subsidies.
Mm-hmm.
And he found that they would be able to get a plan for around $7,600 a year, which would include coverage for their uninsured daughter. Did you hear me?
Yes, I heard you.
Okay. So now they're paying $13,000 a year without coverage for their daughter. So it would be $20,000 a year with coverage for their daughter. But he found a plan for $7,600 a year that would include coverage for their daughter.
So he found a plan that would cover the whole family, including the daughter with the pre-existing condition.
For 60% less than they had been paying.
Oh my God.
Okay. And Allison also told him that the letter she received from Blue Cross said that in addition to the policy change for ACA compliance, in the new policy, her physician network size might be reduced. And, she doesn't know whether or not her doctor is in the network yet, okay, or what it is, because she hasn't checked this out. And the thing it said is that it may be reduced, not that it would be reduced.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about Blue Cross bringing policies into ACA compliance means that they're going to have to cover pre-existing conditions, and it also means that they're going to have to cover preventative care and a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay? But now this cost of $7,600 without subsidy is crazy awesome.
Okay. And Jackie, as you told, and as I told at the top of the story, that you would be coming on and telling this story to us, and that you were one of the recipients of what Obamacare was. You and your family were already experiencing good things, less money, saving $100 a month, was it?
Yeah, $90.
$90 a month already, because of Obamacare kicking in, and this was what Barack Obama was talking about. People are getting checks back, or they don't have to pay what they were paying.
But wait, let me tell you the last story, though.
Okay.
And the other thing that this guy said about Allison is that if her choice of doctor is denied through Obamacare, then yeah, she would have a complaint. Okay,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she'd also have thousands of dollars in her pocket that she didn't have before.
Okay,
it's true. Okay, and lastly, he called Robbie and Tina Robinson from Franklin, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie is self-employed as a Christian youth motivational speaker. On Hannity, the couple said that they too were recently notified that their Blue Cross policy would be expiring for lack of ACA compliance. They told Hannity that the replacement plans Blue Cross was offering would come with a rate increase of 50 or even 75%, and that the new offerings would contain all sorts of benefits they don't need, like maternity care and pediatric care, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When he spoke to Robbie, Robbie told him that he and Tina had been paying a little over $800 a month for their plan, about $10,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And he told the reporter that the ACA compliant policy would cost 50 to 75% more.
Mm-hmm.
He said that this information was relayed to them by their insurance agent.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, so we asked him, have they shopped the exchange yet? And he said no, nor would they. They oppose Obamacare and want nothing to do with it. Okay? He says, the reporter said that was fair enough, but they should know that he found a plan for them that would cost them at most $3,700 a year.
And what were they paying?
Which is 63% less than their current bill. They're paying $10,000.
Oh my God!
And it would be reduced to $3,700. And he told them it might cover things that they don't need, but so does every insurance policy.
But what difference does it make? You're still saving over $3,000.
Oh, look, they're saving. They're saving $6,000, sweetie.
Oh my God, Jackie.
Yeah.
Wait.
And the guy says that he does not doubt that these people believe that Obamacare is a disaster, but none of them have even tried to find out whether it would be.
Yeah, so here they are on national TV, and I read the article too, and they said that they had them all posed with the women sitting
Oh
and the
yeah,
men standing.
yeah.
And they were telling how Obamacare was putting them into financial ruin, and la 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 la, and they haven't even
checked to find out.
checked the site
by
out.
What they say and detail me.
Okay, as Daddy used to say, they say and detail me. And them is some bad boys, and I heard them some bad boys. Jackie, this evening, as I was sitting here preparing to come into the studio, Chris Matthews came on. Chris Hayes came on, All In.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris Hayes had this woman on, and she was talking about she and her partner, and they had this big mother load of an insurance plan. Mm-hmm. But they paid a $7,000 deductible with their $2 million a year cap, and so on and so forth.
Oh, that's not $2 million a year, sweetie. Those caps were lifetime.
No. Chris confirmed it with her, and she said, no, we have $2 million a year cap. So she has this big mother load of insurance.
Okay, so she must have a super Cadillac policy.
Yeah, she has a super Cadillac insurance plan. And she said that they went on to the site, and she said, and the site was horrible. Ain't no doubt about it. She said, but we hung in there. She said, and I would get kicked off or booted out or message or waiting too long. She said, and it took me about 5 days to get it done, to catch it on a day when it was working. And she said, and I got it done, and it saved us $5,000 a year.
Yeah.
With no more caps, and they didn't have all of that $7,000 deductible to pay for every time they, had some big surgery or something going on. Everything was reduced. And she said, when they get that, she said, but I got signed up. We got signed up. She said, but when they get the glitches out, these are technical problems, just like I just had, didn't even know it, just looked up and it said, the Internet Explorer has stopped, is not responding. And I was off the air in all of 1 second, and all of 2 seconds, I was back on, and I'm looking back into the studio. It just started right back up. So we have these every day, and we put up with it because we want to be on the internet. And with your radio shows like myself and other DJs, Tony Sanchez and David Capers, we got to be on. We said we coming on at this time. That's what we do. But I don't get kicked off every day. Doesn't happen to me every day. It happens to me once or twice within a 3-6 months period. And so the Internet Explorer started working, and all of 3 seconds was I off the air, and I'm back on. It happens to the FM radio stations. You can be in your car and bam. Okay, so they're having a problem, technical difficulties. But the Republicans are trying to turn this into, see how bad it is, it's so bad. Anytime, Jackie, always pay attention to the person that's just waving, don't go, it's horrible. And especially, these people were lying. Obamacare hadn't done shit to them. It hadn't done shit to them. They ain't even been on the site. They didn't even shop. The guy who said, Eric Stearns said that he was in his kitchen preparing dinner and listening to Fox and Fools. And he said when these people start talking, and Sean Hannity started, he said he started to back up out of the kitchen. And he said he came around and said what he was hearing, none of it jived with what he knew about Obamacare. And he said that he knew a lot because he was the senior counsel for the former governor of Montana, and they were having to look into medical issues all the time for the people in their state. And he said he knew a lot about Obamacare. He said, and none of this jived. And he said, and in his mind, he said, I had to hit the pavement. And that meant he was going to track down these families that was on Hannity one by one and talk to them. And now he's on every talk show laughing about it and explaining these people hadn't even gone to the website.
And I want to say what other thing too. You were talking about the website and all the glitches,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard a story today on National Public Radio that helped bring some light to that, because
Mm-hmm.
people were going, well, why did they had all this time to put the site up? Why did it take so long? Well, first they were waiting for the Supreme Court, because President Obama, I got to give it to him. He's not going to spend money that he doesn't have to spend.
Right.
Okay.
Now he's the fiscal hawk. He always is watching the money.
So he wanted them to wait for the Supreme Court, and so the court passed the law and said it was constitutional. Okay, that's fine. And then he also wanted to wait until after the election, because this was a central part of the election. And if Mitt Romney was elected, they would have repealed the Affordable Care Act. So there you go.
And
so
again,
then after the election, he said, all right, you guys can start working on it. Now, the other thing that happened, there are two other things that happened. The next thing that happened is all these Republican governors who refused to set up exchanges for their states. And there were more states that needed exchanges than they had estimated there would be. They were thinking there might be like 10, maybe 15, and there were 26. Okay. And so, of course, that made their cost estimates too low, and they needed more money to set up all these exchanges. Well, of course, the Congress would not approve that. And so Kathleen Sebelius had to scrabble around, taking money from all these different places at HHS to try and get these websites set up.
While these fools are out here distracting Barack with all their foolishness.
So that the Republicans, they helped to make it bad.
Of course.
I also want to make one other point, Brenda.
Okay.
Since the government shut down, approval for the Affordable Care Act has been going up consistently.
Right.
First, it went up 8 points. Today, a new poll came out, and it was up an additional 4 points. And I hear the talking heads going, my goodness, why is that? It's because of what the Republicans are doing? It's like, no, it is because people are finding out that it's a really good deal.
Thank you.
There are people who have been able to get health insurance that have never had it before. You have all these testimonials, like with me. We have insurance. We have always had it. Okay? And now that the state of California has had to offer policies that are ACA compliant, our costs have gone down. You understand?
Yeah.
And not only did our premium go down by $90 a month, but our prescription drug costs have gone down by 2/3.
I just told the audience that at the top of the show. I said Jackie is one of the people that's benefiting from Obamacare. And, they're telling these lies. You going to lose your insurance. It's a lie. And Jackie is here to tell you it's a lie.
You know what we had to do to get those benefits?
Nothing.
Well, we had to vote for President Obama.
That's all you had to do. Vote for Barack. But you didn't have to write no letter to the insurance company. You didn't have to take no tests. You didn't have to fill out no papers. Affordable care.
And I did call our insurer. Just to find out. And she said, oh, no, ma'am, nothing is going to change except you'll get some more benefits with your policy. Oh, thank you.
And you get a decrease in your prescription drug. I mean, it's done nothing but what Barack promised it would do. And
the thing about it is just so far. I mean, the exchanges have only been up for 3 weeks. Now, some of the other benefits have kicked in way before that. But
right.
Now that in the states that have set up their own exchanges, things are going really well. I mean, in California, it's like I said, they're signing up 30,000 people a week. Well, in California, so in the first 3 weeks, California signed up 95,000 people in the first 3 weeks. They were thinking they would...
They signed up what?
95,000 people in the
Get out of here.
Yeah, and they were thinking that...
And I think New York signed up 35,000.
No, New York signed up 150,000.
Oh, get out of
in
here,
their first 3 weeks.
Oh, my God.
They're whipping us.
Jackie.
But, and what our administrator, what our health exchange administrator thought is that they would sign up 30,000 a month.
Yeah.
And it's been 30,000.
Barack them he did not expect all of these people at once like this. With them telling the lie that no, that American people don't want this, and they're crashing the site. The site wasn't.
And it isn't just that. The thing that I appreciate is that in my state, okay, if you look at the state of California, this has been really well done because, first of all, you can go to the website. It works just fine, okay? Or you can call The call centers work just fine. Or you can see someone in person. It's like I said, in my local Walmart, there is a human being
I told
sitting
the
at a
audience
desk
that.
next to a big sign that
Mm-hmm.
says, "Ask me about the Affordable Care Act."
Okay.
It says, "Ask me about health insurance."
I told the
in
audience that.
California, they have done it right. So anybody who doesn't know in California, it's their own fault.
Yeah, and Jackie, Texas, of course, is they're turning it down. They don't want, but now he wants what? He wants $2 million for he will take $2 million.
No, what he's doing is what they're doing in Texas is they have closed down their catastrophic health care fund. Their high risk pool.
Mm-hmm.
Because most states do have that, a high risk pool.
Mm-hmm.
That's making most of them go absolutely broke, right?
Right.
So in Texas, what they've done is they've closed down the pool and they're telling people to go to the exchanges. Now they will not expand Medicaid.
No.
Okay? They will not set up their own exchange.
Right.
They're telling their people that by the end of this year, we're not going to have, what you've gotten from the state. We're not going to be offering that anymore. But you can go to the exchange and you'll probably get better coverage for less money.
Jack, these and they're crazy. I mean,
and then another one of Republican governors, which is real funny. Okay, Governor Kasich of Ohio has his Republican legislature mad as hell at him.
Yep, because he's taking
because they didn't want, they wouldn't set up an exchange. They didn't want the Medicaid expansion. But Kasich figured out, look, if you can count, okay, this Medicaid expansion is awesome for any state.
Mm-hmm.
Because the federal government covers the entire cost of the expansion.
110% of the cost.
And 90% of the cost after that. And the thing about it is that your costs are going to go down if you have all of these additional people on Medicaid.
Yes.
All right. So it is not going to cost. It is going to cost them less to cover more people than it did. Okay. Before to cover fewer people. All right.
It is an amazing thing.
But anyway, Kasich figured this out, and so he went around his legislature by going to some state medical panel
mm-hmm.
who voted to accept the Medicaid expansion. This is going to be fun. What I'm interested in seeing in Ohio is if anybody from the legislature, if they try to override what has been done, and I don't know if they can legally do that, or if they just sue the governor.
Well, they tried to get him out of office earlier last year, didn't they, Jackie?
No, it wasn't Kasich.
Well, I know they tried with the cockeyed governor, but something happened with Kasich up there. Remember, he came on and apologized and said he didn't listen.
Oh yeah, but that was when they.
What did they do to him?
No, they overrode his union busting stuff.
Oh yeah. And
Ohio.
he got on TV and apologized and said that he didn't listen to the people.
Listening. Yeah. So anyhow, in Ohio, that's what's going on. So now Ohio has accepted the Medicaid expansion. They still haven't set up their own exchange. But when you look at it, with the Medicaid expansion and the exchanges, states can get rid of their catastrophic health care fund.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there are a lot of things that they can get rid of. And the other thing too is, just like I was telling you last week, that with a lot of companies, they will be able to get better insurance for less money for their employees.
Absolutely. And our point here is these people in Fox lied, and they know they lied, and I bet he's not going to apologize.
No, and they're continuing to lie. And see, and that's the other thing too, is, the Republicans really need to back up off this Obamacare thing, because it's just like I said.
Well, some of their brethren are telling them to do so, Jackie, but they ain't doing it.
But Brenda, the reason that there's more and more support for the law is people are beginning to see how it works, and they're hearing stories from folks, and they know folks, and they have their own experience. And when something good happens, you tell somebody.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what else, Jackie. These comedians are just opening the door for it, because
but the Republicans don't seem to get, is simply this: that in order for them to be a national party, they have to have some credibility. And all of their credibility is just evaporating.
All
because
of it.
The government shutdown, the near default, and now people are learning that they have told all these big, gigantic lies about.
All of the new polls are saying that they want the Democrats to run the House and the Senate.
Yeah.
and they're trying to pretend like they're not worried. But John McCain and those old Republican war horses are worried. Jackie, I don't know if you know this guy, but I wanted to remind you of this book. A former right-wing blogger, David Brock. He wrote a new book, and it's called the Benghazi Hoax. And he was a big right-winger and was right in the middle of that shit. And he has found out about all these lies. And I mean, he just listed all of the hoax and the lies.
Well, okay.
So
I guess that people have to find out for themselves.
Yeah, so look for this book.
Because I was about to say, how could he not have known that they're lying?
Well,
but, it is going to get to the point where the only people who still follow and believe this crap are the people who just feel that they must believe it.
Yeah, and they're only following Jackie because of their hatred for the color of its skin.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, just like the people that we were talking about earlier,
because the intelligent people are really getting embarrassed.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll call you back. Just tell the truth. I hate President.
Yeah,
Obama.
I hate President Obama. And I give him an opportunity every week here, Jackie. Just say it and get it out your system. Say it. Nigga. Say it real fast.
Because the thing about it is because they won't say what they really mean or what they're really feeling, everything else they say makes no sense.
Yeah.
I also wanted to tell you about a little piece of sound that I heard from the divine Senator Cruz today. And the reason I call him divine is because a story came out today that his father said that Cruz was anointed.
Barry just read that, and I had to make him go back and say it again. Say what?
Oh, yeah. So now we know that Ted Cruz is the chosen.
Chris Matthews said yesterday, look in this guy's eyes. Somebody's not home. Something's not working. And I'm telling you, Jackie, I was thinking this all along. And I said, oh, my God, Chris is seeing Judge Judy. And I say this on this show all the time. Judge Judy says, look in their eyes. You can tell.
Yeah.
This guy is so self-centered, so conceited, such a demon.
Well, and if you think that you're Jesus, come again.
Yeah. Now they want to claim that Barack Obama's the Antichrist. He's Hitler. He's Stalin. He's all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And but see, these are the real sickos that think they're Jesus. Barack Obama has never done anything but come to us straight. Dee Dee Myers made me mad as hell this morning. Of course, I was up at 6 o'clock when Morning Joe came on.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that this, and Jack, I don't even know how she got these two things in the same arena together to compare them. But she said, and you gonna see what you laughing about, and you gonna wonder yourself. She put these two things in the arena. She said that Obamacare was and this rollout was worse than Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear me? She said
Dee Dee Myers could not have said that.
Dee Dee Myers was the White House spokesman for Bush, right?
No, sweetie, she was not.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Myers worked for Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton. Okay, sorry. What's her name? Nicole.
What, Nicole Wallace?
Is that who was Bush's spokesperson for the White House?
What, his communications director? I'm sorry, Brenda, I don't know.
No, Barack Obama has
yeah, I know you're talking about.
Okay, then it had to be.
I don't remember her name.
It has to be this girl, Nicole Wallace. Yes, she's on Morning Joe every morning.
No, that's not Nicole Wallace.
Okay.
Nicole Wallace is the person who worked with
John McCain.
Steve, what's his face in the McCain campaign.
Okay, well, anyway, y'all have to remember, and if you watch Morning Joe at all, I'm sorry I got the name wrong, but this woman made me so mad.
Mm-hmm.
But she was a White House spokesman for Bush. I think she's the first. I think she's the first woman, wasn't she, Jackie?
Brenda, would you just get on with
okay,
what you
anyway,
because,
this heifer.
I don't know.
Okay,
do not know.
This heifer says that.
I don't remember.
Okay, this heifer says that the Obama, the Affordable Act rollout was worse than Katrina.
Yes.
How do you get these two things in the arena to even compare them?
Brenda, Brenda, listen. The Republicans are so upset because George Bush had a zillion huge, catastrophic, costly screw-ups. Okay?
Yes.
They want to hang something on President Obama.
Okay.
And so that's why they are prone to all this hyperbole and stuff. And what I want is for them to just keep on going, because it's just like I said. The more that this thing rolls out, the more that people see that it's helping them, the more testimonials they get, it's going to become obvious that they were just lying. And so we're going to have to start asking ourselves the question, why were they lying?
Yes.
Why did they tell these big lies? No matter whether they say, oh, my goodness, we were mistaken, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It just makes them look really, really.
Yes, the correct name is Nicole.
All credibility.
The correct name is Nicole Wallace, and she was George Bush's communications chief. Okay? And she's sitting here on Morning Joe this morning, and she says,
I am shocked that Nicole Wallace would say something like that.
Okay, she said, I'm not trying to apologize for the Bush administration's debacles, but this is worse than Katrina. Are you crazy? Folks died.
Oh, yeah.
In Katrina. And you know Eugene Robinson, you know how he stutters.
Yeah. And
Eugene Robinson was losing his
mind. Especially when you look at this law will save people's lives, and Katrina cost people their lives.
Okay, Tony Williams, GOP about to be rested in peace. They are rested in peace right now. Jackie, she said this was Katrina was an act of God. And Barack Obama created this devastation. No, we're not saying that George Bush created the hurricane. We're talking about the actions he took after the hurricane. You know, good job, Brownie.
Yes.
With bodies laying all and floating past you.
Yes.
And they went down there and got a generator of sorts and lit it up in front of some building downtown and said the lights are coming back on and everything's going to be all right, and took back out of there.
Mm-hmm.
They passed dead bodies to come there and put the lights on this building.
Yes.
And it was an absolute debacle. I mean, if Barack Obama were living, I promise you he would have taken Air Force One down there and started picking up folks and getting them off that bridge. He left those people on that bridge for 3 days, and I had friends, he can't go down there. The federal government has to get a permission from the governor of Louisiana, and he can't go down there. Bullshit.
Oh, absolutely.
The president of the United States can do just about whatever he wants to. He can hear from them later.
Yeah, and not
but he could have sent the National Guard right away with helicopters to pick those people up. I'm sorry.
No, Brenda,
it's bullshit.
It's like the thing that always kills me about Republicans. I'll put it this way: the Republicans these days,
yes,
they love to call themselves the party of personal responsibility.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed how it is that they aren't responsible for
damn thing? You know, Jackie, you missed Barry was up the first hour, and Barry came off with his first story of an Oregon Tea Party leader who believes in fiscal responsibility and personal responsibility, and he hadn't paid his mortgage in 3 years.
Yes.
This is how they always are. We're talking about the man who had 10 children.
Oh, yeah.
On Medicaid.
Yeah.
As he was railing against this whole big government.
Yes.
It's amazing. And they really do believe that we're fools. And no matter how every day these lies come out, y'all have to go on to my page and see the picture of little Ted Cruz that somebody put together. Put his body on a baby boy in little white high top shoes and blue pants, short set. Oh Lord, that picture is so funny. I know I shared it with my crazy crew, but before Jack and I leave tonight, y'all, I got I've not done the Negro Please list, and
oh, Brenda, wait. I'm sorry. I know you do, but there was something else I was going to
okay. Go ahead, baby.
Because I wanted to point out one of the things.
You know we can talk like however long we want to. Go ahead.
What?
I said, you know we can talk however long we want to.
No. But this is just something real brief.
Okay.
Okay, you know how Ted Cruz got everybody ginned up. We're going to defund Obamacare, this, that, and this thing, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
Raphael
Okay,
Edward
now,
Cruz.
let me finish now. Okay. I represent the American people, he says, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, he has changed his rap a little bit today.
Said what?
Yeah.
Raphael Edward Cruz has changed his rap?
Yeah, he changed his rap a little bit today.
What'd he say,
What
Jack?
he said was, instead of the American people hate this Obamacare and this destructive law and blah, 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 he said, we must win the argument with the American people. Now, Brenda,
How you gonna
where
win
did
it?
that come from? Because he's been telling us all this time that the American people are with him.
That's what he said?
Now he's saying that they have to win the argument. Well, we already have the argument. The argument is over.
The argument happened in 2012, November.
Thank you.
And Barack keeps telling them that. Harry Reid and everybody else keep telling them that. You lost the election. You don't get to come in here.
Say, well, we were elected too. Baby, I saw, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of this representative's name. He's this guy from Utah. That when he said, Chaffetz, that's his name. And he was talking with, somebody. Who was it? But anyway, the person he was talking with was pointing out that President Obama had won the election, this, that, and the other thing. And he said, look, I was elected too. Mitt Romney got 46 million votes in the last election. And I was like, and he lost because Barack got 51 million.
Okay. I
mean, I don't get this.
Jackie.
He came in second.
He needs to go to the...
Romney came in second.
He needs to go to the Jethro mathematical class. No, it's not. David Capers, dumbass.
But you know, that little thing from Ted Cruz today really got me. We have to win the argument.
Okay.
You said you won the argument.
Jackie, you missed some of the jokes that I started off with earlier today. And, you know, Rush Limbaugh was losing his mind with how Obamacare, this train wreck, this disaster, this, that, and la, 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 la. And Reverend Al asked Congressman Emmanuel Cleveland from Missouri, what did he think about what Rush Limbaugh had to say? And, you know, that's Barry's name, congressman. And
I didn't know that.
And he's a minister as well. And he's very respectful and very soft-spoken. And he said, well, Reverend Al, the good news is Obamacare covers pre-existing conditions. And that's why I said my subject tonight, Obama covers crazy.
Yes,
if you crazy, just come on. We'll take you to all pre-existing. And Jackie, you know, as I was watching that mess, I'm looking at them, and I said, if lies was shit, the Republican Party would be a big ass turd.
Oh yes,
they would just be rolled into a big ass turd. And then Ron Reagan comes behind me and says that they are less popular than hepatitis B. I said syphilis even. Everybody hates y'all. Yeah. And they don't get it. And the poll came out today. I think 60% of people said that Democrats should run the House and the Senate from now on. And that, you know what that means? That we're going to run the presidency too. And that is why, Jackie, they know they're losing. That's why they're jumping all around North Carolina, Texas, everywhere else, trying to get these voter laws changed. They finally got the Supreme Court to gut the voters' Voting Rights Act. And so that's what they're trying to do.
I have to say, it's something I never thought I'd see.
David, I don't know what that is. He needs gazintus. What's gazintus?
Wait. I'm not looking at that.
I won't know what gazintus is.
Yeah, what is that, Dave?
Yeah, you got to tell us, Daddy, what that is. You are too funny. But before we leave y'all tonight, I hope Jack and I have told you some of the funnest. Oh, Anthony Weiner has a new book out, Jackie. And I didn't even bother to get the name of his book because
I can't believe it.
It doesn't matter. But
who does he think is going to buy that?
Well, maybe some of his sexters. But the claim to him, he didn't have dozens of them either, so he ain't gonna even make no money there. But I won't believe a word that he says. Now, if he came out and told the truth like Dick Cheney did and showed his shit and his and the tubes and shit that's planted and glued to him every day, if he do something like that, like show his pee and that he got a tube in it, somebody might buy it just to say, oh. But I don't even know the name of his book. But he got his book out, and what is so catching on and taking over the book's title, even, Jackie, is this. This is why I wouldn't buy it, because this is one of his truths in the book.
Okay.
David Caver says that Gazin's toes is Jethro mad. Okay, thank you, Daddy. I should have looked down at that in the middle of my story. But his title takes over the name of the book. His phrase in this book takes over the title, because he says this, Jackie: had there not been an internet, he would have never done what he did, because he has a beautiful wife at home that he adores and is totally in love with.
Wait a minute. So now it's the internet's fault.
It's the internet's fault. It called him.
Okay.
Hit called him.
Okay.
Wiener.
It was your wiener.
Wiener. Can't you just hear him, Jackie? Like angels. Wiener.
That is just ridiculous.
Yeah, Jackie, that's what he said. It wasn't his fault. It was the internet's fault. And he don't care nothing about that. And if the internet had not been up, he never would have done that. Internet is up, Jack, and I ain't never done no freaky shit.
No.
Because, see, I carry my freaky shit out live. So I don't have to go on the internet. Okay, your mama is back. She said he has to blame somebody. Okay, so I do all my freaky shit live. So I ain't got to go on the internet and show my hoo-hoo and stuff.
Yes.
But he is blaming the internet. If the internet didn't exist,
that is,
I wouldn't even been in that predicament, because I have a beautiful wife at home that I am totally in love with.
Yeah.
This is where Obamacare is really needed. It covers. What's my subject? Obama covers crazy.
Yeah.
All ye who is crazy and heavy laden, come unto Obamacare. It covers pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
This bitch is crazy.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
I heard this rumor that your governor wants to do the Medicaid expansion now. Is that true?
Get the fuck out of here. I do not know. I can't even stand to watch my local news. Daddy lives in Florida with me. David, is our governor trying to have foreplay with the Medicaid extension? Is he doing foreplay? He doing little Johnny Jackie come hide and seek.
That's what I heard.
Show me yours and I'll show you mine. Jackie, this is really good news.
That, that since cases, because these guys, you guys have a psycho Republican legislature, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what these governors, the ones that can count, and
the ones that can count past Jethro math.
Yes. Your governor stole so much money, I'm pretty sure he can count.
Yeah.
The ones that can count have taken a better look at this and said, the average is that most states will experience an additional $2 billion over 10 years in their budget. If they just do the Medicaid expansion.
And that's why old girl, she may not can remember shit when she on camera, but she knew to jump. Somebody told her, let's get this now, sister, so before you forget.
Mm-hmm.
You remember, Jack, how she humiliated herself on camera when she, and we know that can't remember shit disease hit her and she couldn't, Oh Lord, I can't remember what I was talking about. Uh, okay, your mama in the chat room says, I keep telling you that you don't tell everything. Remember what Granny taught us?
Mm-hmm.
That is true, Jean. But see, I have to confess to help folks understand. You
Oh,
know,
Bob, you know
so
you just can't keep up our shit.
yeah, I confess so that people understand that if they hear later on that I'm freaking, it's true. But you ain't gonna catch me freaking on the internet. I only freak with the folks I'm supposed to be freaking with. Now, having said that, it is time to go to the Negro Please winner, aka where do they find these Negroes? List of the week. And Jackie, I will permit you the dumbass comment of the week. You have a few moments to think of which one you're going to come up with.
Okay. I already got mine.
Okay. And if you would, you might be thinking of a word of the week because our audience needs your education. That's why they stay here and listen to us, you know, because you educate them.
Sure, Brenda, sure.
And
right,
I mean that. And I surely mean it for me and Tony because, you know, our caps, our helmets a little tight. We ride that short, but he was teasing me. You know, me and Tony on the short bus, so we are definitely up in here to learn. David just up in here hoping to hear you cuss.
Oh.
But me and Tony really need this knowledge. I mean, I thought it was beautiful when you told us the difference in a Democrat and a republic, you know?
Democracy and a republic.
A democracy and a republic. And I like that kind of stuff, you know?
Okay.
Because it don't come to us to, never thought to look that up. And I think I made a D in Western Civ.
Oh, that is tragic, B. That is tragic.
Well, I made a D the first time, but my teacher got me.
Look, I got to tell everybody, I made an A+ in Western Civ.
Well, I brought mine up to a C.
Well, there you go.
But I didn't know how to write essays. But I had an excellent teacher. But my son Dennis was in class with me, and he was about 2, and he kept getting a better grade in Western Civ than me.
Oh, brother, quit.
Okay, y'all. So y'all check this out. This is, I was looking for the Hannity video today so I could play for y'all as he and his guests had
those lies.
Yeah, had them lies just bubbling like a pot of chitlins coming off their mouth today. And when I looked for it, I stumbled up on this. Right. And this is Jackie, for the second week in the row, we have an actual Negro.
Oh, okay.
You know, anybody can make our Negro Please list for those of you who are listening. And I have to tell you, my sister-in-law and Carol does not like for me to have this segment. Why do you say Negro Please? Well, Negro was never meant to, that was not supposed to be the bad word. First we were colored, then we were Negro, then we were black, and now we're African American.
And who knows what we'll be next year? And
who knows what we'll be next year? And sometimes I get confused. But you know, I cannot say that these people are Uncle Toms because people don't really know the story of Uncle Tom, or you wouldn't call a black person an Uncle Tom. Actually, Uncle Tom was a little hero.
Yes.
All within himself, and he ran away several times. So Uncle Tom pretended to be an Uncle Tom, as you know it, as you've been led to believe. He pretended to be that character, but he was not. He helped many slaves to escape, and he himself escaped many times, only to be brought back.
Yeah.
So I would rather call them Negroes.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Deneen Borelli. And Deneen Borelli was the chosen Negro in Sean Hannity's audience that day. And now I'm looking at this same crazy player that I had my other thing in. And if y'all don't hear nothing and it doesn't play, I'm going to grab it and open it real fast on YouTube, okay? So Here we go with Deneen Borelli. This black woman says our president lied to us.
Okay.
I sure hope it plays. Okay, so it is not playing because she's running her mouth. I don't know who made this player and what this player is, but let me say for the record, it ain't shit. Okay, now let me go to YouTube real fast, y'all, while we're waiting. So Jackie, if you want to go ahead with your Negro Please comment of the week, I will pull this while we're listening to you.
Oh, okay. Well, the dumbass comment of the week comes from Robbie and Tina Robinson of Franklin, Tennessee. And their dumbass comment is, they don't give a damn how good Obamacare is. They oppose it, and they don't want anything to do with it.
Said what? Did you say they don't care how good it is?
Yes, they oppose Obamacare and want nothing to do with it. So I guess they'd rather just be insuranceless than to save $6,000 a year.
Oh Lord. Well, Jackie, I
think that's a dumbass comment.
Yeah, that's a dumbass comment.
Okay.
And Jackie, what you bet? They on the site right now. They can lie to themselves. They cannot lie to us. Jackie, apparently, this Miss Deneen Borelli.
Yes.
Apparently, I don't listen to this stuff, but apparently, she is a fixture on the Fox News station. As I came to YouTube to get it, pull it up. Oh, I see her at the desk with him over and over. And I'll tell you one thing: if you turn on your speakers, then a video will usually play. Okay, y'all. So let's try to listen up, and y'all hear my girl who is making the Negro Please list today.
The numbers and data that you rattle off and people continue to ignore it and pretend it's not true. Our president lied to us. He lied to Americans. And what we witnessed with Ted Cruz is he was able to educate Americans. The base is empowered. I mean, when you think about it, with social media and the internet, people are getting their own information. It's the ground up. It's no longer top down. And that is what the establishment and the left hates. They're losing control, and it's very obvious. You know what? I think the Senate needs to vote on what the House has provided. They provided the bill. If they don't pass, if Obama wants to shut down the government, that's on his watch. They need to vote. Constituents need to see where the senators stand, especially those in the red states like Mary Landrieu, where they stand. They need to go on record. They need to be outed to see where they stand, especially those who are up for election next year.
All right.
Did y'all hear that?
That was a sister, huh?
That was a sister, Jackie. And as I went here to grab her again, I just see one video after another with her at the desk with Sean Hannity and everything. I assumed that she was pretending to be a host. One of the just an American in the audience that night. Okay, so Jean said y'all heard that. Jackie, that was amazing to me.
Well, Brenda, I always
She said that Ted Cruz is giving us the truth?
That's what she said. And I always wonder about these black people who think that they are going to do something in the Tea Party. I always wonder, is it just self-loathing? I mean, what is it? Because
y'all heard her, right? She spoke very eloquently.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, she's a very educated woman.
Yes.
So who in the hell paid her?
Yeah, I've always wondered about that. Do they get paid? Because, Fox News, they love trotting out black people.
Oh, yes.
And stuff. They're hard to find, but there are some.
Look, when Cornel West and Tavis Smiley started trotting out against the president.
Oh, yeah.
You see what has happened to them.
Yes.
That's about the only place they can get on TV now.
Oh, yeah.
It's Fox. He had a job with Tom Joyner. Tavis Smiley did. Cornel West, he's just a pure hater.
Yeah.
Them and their bus tour.
Yeah.
President Obama ain't doing nothing for poor black children. What are you talking about? He's the president for poor white children and poor black children.
Yes. And not only that, Brenda, I mean, the health care law, one of the things that the Tea Partiers hate the most about it is that it will help lots of black and brown folks.
Yes.
But they hate the most about it.
Yes. This is, I mean, and Jackie, when you look at this woman, I'm going to put this on my Let's Talk About It page, y'all. So if anybody wants to, Jean said they're envious. You're right about that, Jean. And you know who else was in that little, Jesse Jackson was in that little thing.
Well, now we know that Jesse is really jealous and
yeah.
will not come.
Yeah, and when he got caught behind the scene with the mic on, yeah. I want to tear his balls off. You're a man of God and all of this, and you hating on. You can't be where Barack. You never could.
No.
I've never voted for him. I never voted for Reverend Al.
No.
I just wanted a president that could say pussycat and not putty tat. You know.
No, I mean, the thing about it is that I'm sure that in his own mind, Jesse Jackson believes that he is qualified and capable of being president, and I have to tell you, no, he is not.
No, he is not. And that's
Reverend Al most certainly is not.
No, bless his heart, and we ain't hating on him, but he most certainly does not qualify to be president.
No.
And for the nice black folks that voted for him because they felt all warm and fuzzy, okay. But I was not one of them.
No.
And so it was a shame when he hated on the president like he did. It was an absolute shame.
Yes.
And but hey, that was your prerogative. And then, you know, now we got this famous picture of him crying when the president was elected in the first term.
Night, yeah.
You know, but Reverend Al wasn't crazy enough to stand up and say something stupid about him, and that's why Reverend Al gets to come to the White House and so on and so forth. All you haters, you know, Cornel West was mad. I didn't even get an invitation. Why should he send you an invitation to the White House?
That's just, I remember we were talking about who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, this is just like Joe Scarborough every morning was saying, this president, he just doesn't want to talk with, you know, Reagan and Johnson, they had drinks. Well, maybe he don't drink.
No.
President likes a beer every now and then.
Not a booze hound.
He's not a booze hound. He likes his family. He likes his dogs. And why would you invite somebody to your house that hates you?
And not only that's the other thing that kills me. Whenever I hear somebody talk about how the president should negotiate with the Republicans, who is he going to talk to?
Okay. I was really proud of Todd. Chuck Todd the other morning as he leaned over, and all of his body language the other morning on Morning Joe, as he leaned over and looked at Joe Nim and said, who's he going to talk to?
Yes.
And I thought, damn, at last they're coming around. And again, we talk about Bernstein.
Carl Bernstein.
Carl Bernstein. Carl Bernstein came on there and went off. And you know, nobody can shut Morning Joe up. He doesn't let anybody finish a statement or anything. And Carl Bernstein came on his show last week and went absolutely off. And he said, we in the media are just, we suck. We're doing an absolute horrible job because we know the truth. We see the truth. And this is all about hating Barack Obama, and he can't change the color of his skin. So what's he going to do to fix this?
Yeah.
What is he going
to do? The thing that I'm pleased about is that you're seeing more and more people in the press, though, calling this what it is.
Calling this what it is.
It's taken 5 years
Yeah, and Joe Scarborough just continue to lie. This president, he's not friendly. Look,
he's not supposed to be friends. They have work to do.
thank you. And they tell this lie. The American people need jobs. Well, he's gone around the country holding up his jobs bill, looking like it's 2,000 pages long.
And Brenda, the thing that
passed this bill. And they said, where's his bill? He never wrote no bill. Of course he has. He did a pass this bill tour.
Brenda, and it's not only that. The other thing, too, that gives me is that there's still a lot of pent-up demand in our economy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If President Obama could get even just a little tiny jobs bill passed,
yep,
you would see the unemployment rate drop. I mean, it would just break loose. And as well, and we have done really well given all the obstruction that the Republicans have put up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something else that nobody gives President Obama credit for.
No, Jackie, they don't give him credit for cutting the deficit way more than Reagan or Bush or any of those guys did. And he has done that. They don't give him credit for killing more terrorists than any of those other guys did.
And not only that, this terrorist that they recently got is a guy who committed his crime in the 90s.
Okay. And Barack and them chased his ass down.
To get him.
And then they try to act like they got, why is he on a ship? They're interrogating. Why the fuck do you care where they interrogate this bastard? They don't care.
That, the thing about the interrogations, too, is under the Obama administration, of course, he outlawed the use of torture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was the first thing he did, and we all appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
But then he put together an elite interrogation team.
Yeah, bring him a ham sandwich and some cookies.
There you go.
And let's keep his ass out here in the ocean on a ship.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that they have developed a means where they can interrogate these guys to get any intelligence they can out of them, but they still can take them to court. And
the right, Jackie, is claiming that he the Tea Party folks, they so crazy now, they claim he didn't kill bin Laden. Them the same ones that don't believe that the Holocaust took place. Okay.
Well, Brenda, they make their own history. They live in their own reality.
Mm-hmm.
They make up their own facts. So how can you deal with someone like that? I mean, the only way that you can come to any kind of equitable agreement or arrangement is for everyone to be on the same page as far as what the facts are.
Well,
and if you're making up your own facts, and the other thing, too, is that they continue to change the goalposts. They just make it up as they go along.
Mm-hmm. Well, y'all can pretend to be crazy all you want, but the country sees this, and the country is now saying that we think the Democrats should run the country.
Yeah,
and
so just hope that it comes out that way after the election.
Yeah, because they're jumping on these voters' rights. But just before we go, let me give you a reminder of what's happening at Spreaker.com right here at the Brenda White Shows tomorrow night, okay? Okay, hold on, guys. Hi, this is Brenda White of the Brenda White Shows right here at Spreaker.com, inviting you to join me every Wednesday night from 8 until 10 p.m. Eastern Time for words of inspiration and prayer from the altar with Pastor Mitty Collier. Pastor Collier is the pastor of the More Like Christ Fellowship Ministries, 8201 South Dobson Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Pastor Collier will give us that much needed food for the soul, and I will top that off with the best gospel music on the net. So I promise you a shouting good time if you'll join us every Wednesday night from 8 until 10 p.m. Eastern Time for words of inspiration and prayer from the altar with Pastor Mitty Collier right here at Spreaker.com.
By the stripes of Jesus. Y'all put your
Okay, so y'all join us here tomorrow night. I'm just the host. I don't cuss on Wednesday nights, but God is not through with me yet. But before we go, let's have a little laugh with our girl, Sarah Palin, one more time. You know we love her here. Come on, Sarah Jean.
Our military, our vets,
I had to play it before I go. Oh,